Raphael,
Hey, John, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. Renee, how are you?
He's muted there.
Doing great. How are you, John?
I'm good. I'm good. You need me to mute my microphone for this?
I guess when we start, we can mute everybody and just open for questions at the end. We want to make it short and sweet. So,
Okay. Oh, okay. I thought it was going to be long and sweet. That's what the invitation was for 4 to 6. So
4 to 6.
yeah,
Wow.
that's the invitation said. I thought I was ready to settle in with a nice cocktail and some hors d'oeuvres.
I think
Everything good by you guys?
Yeah, very good. Everything going well. Yeah, I think we set it up for 20 minutes, so I don't know why. We gotta check that out, right?
Yeah, no big deal. So,
Yeah. No, I guess we're gonna try to do every week, so we keep it like a 20-minute sessions just to go over
yeah, that's
some
good.
new customers, so people can come and join us and see what we're doing.
Yeah, okay. Christina, where's Christina from?
Japan.
Okay. Yeah, I heard Japan is ready to open up. They was on a call the other night, and they said they closed in mid-April, and they're getting ready to open up by the end of this month.
Yeah, that's great. That was great.
Yeah.
They actually never closed the economy, right? They're one of the few countries that kept going, right?
Uh-huh.
Is Sweden, I think Finland, Iceland, and Japan.
So it's a couple of lessons.
Well, things over in New York, John.
Things are good. I think we're New York and New Jersey are gonna be the last states that that loosen things up. But at least for theaters. Yeah, there was one article I read today that was a little distressing. Everybody was counting on Tenet and Mulan opening up in July, and now there's a possibility that they may move those back even more.
Wow.
And then I was talking with one exhibitor yesterday from California, and he said he felt like they were going to do that, delay the big releases, because Los Angeles is such a tight market, and New York is such a tight market, important markets, that that would probably cause things to get pushed back. But yeah, fingers crossed.
Yeah, this is new territory, right? So we're all learning as we go.
Yeah. I was on a webinar earlier today, and they had a video of a theater, a CineStar theater. And, they posted to YouTube, and basically they took the people on step by step going to the theater, what it's going to look like, what you have to do for your tickets, how you go into auditoriums. So it's pretty good. I liked it.
I liked it too. I was on that webinar too, and it was was a pretty good. In Finland, I believe that's in Finland, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So they did a great job letting people know how they're doing the cleaning, and it looked like safe. You felt safe, right? So I think that's very important in the process.
So that's what it's all about. Just getting people comfortable and getting people confident.
Yep. I guess, hey, Rene, we're gonna get going so we can keep on the times that we have here. We have 5 people in the call and see who else joins. We're gonna be doing this regularly and keep inviting people to our social media. So first of all, let me get everybody muted. So I see muted. Okay, perfect. So. Well, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us to our CLO Dealing with COVID-19 webinar. As I was mentioning a little bit earlier, we're going to try to do this on a weekly basis to start bringing customers from multiple industries, starting with cinema, going into restaurants, hospitality, and explain what we're doing to help them re-engage and get the business back, right? Very simple menu is menu. I'm talking about restaurant already. So very simple agenda. So we are going to cover the challenge as we see it, and I'm going to share with you what we have been able to learn from our customers. We're talking to different industries and what we have read that the biggest challenge is, what the solution, and we'll open up at the end for question and answers that you may have. Let me get going with the challenge and actually get your feedback later as to what you think. So we believe, based on the conversation with our customers, that the most important challenge that they're dealing with as they open the economy is to efficiently ensure safety when they reopen. And we're talking about safety not only for the customers, but also for the employees. And when we say efficiently, it's because it cannot be more expensive than what they can produce. So it has to be profitable. Whatever business they are able to reopen, it has to be at least to cover the cost. So we broke down this macro issue or challenge into three big areas. And we kind of nailed down the three big areas that customers will need to deal with to be able to ensure that safety plays when they reopen. So number one is as you know, and you've heard and you've seen and you read, there is not a lack of procedures and processes, right? So you have cities, states, governments, federal, countries, each country coming up with their own needs and regulations to open up places. Even brands, you look at Marriott and some of the bigger brands in hospitality, they're coming with Hilton, they're coming with a very complex processes around opening back, cleaning, washing hands every 30 minutes, cleaning surfaces every 30 minutes as well, changing masks every hour. So there is an abundance of processes and procedures that businesses will have to follow. So the question is not, do you have processes? The question is, number one is, how do you ensure that people are actually following those processes, especially when you are adding so many variables to a business that is coming, in many instances, coming with less people than what before the virus, right? So keeping physical distancing, sanitizing surfaces, making sure that people are wearing the proper equipment is one of the challenges. Number two is very important. It's an issue that we have in many businesses even before COVID. Is how do I take customer feedback? And when I take customer and employee feedback, what do I do with that feedback? How do I make sure that I react to it and I do something? So just think about going to a restaurant and having an issue in a restaurant. Who do you talk to? Do you talk to a waitress? Do you talk to a chef? Do you talk to the front desk? And that's number one. That would be my question. I go to a bathroom, I see something I don't like. Who do I talk to? And if I talk to that person, is that person equipped to be able to do something with that information? Or I'm gonna find someone who is super busy and is gonna try to figure out, what the next steps are, and maybe my concern goes nowhere. That's very important. Timely response to customer feedback is very, very important. And then last but not least is the fact that we need to make sure customers feel safe, because even if you have the best processes and procedures, if the customer does not feel safe, they're not gonna go. We just having a discussion with John, and we attended a webinar just a few say like an hour ago, where we saw a cinema in Finland that is really showing the customers all the stuff they're doing. And one of the things they're actually showing the customers is they're saying that they do the sanitation and the cleaning before, during, and after the customers are there. Why? Because they want to show the customers what kind of procedures they're following. They want to make cleaning the location part of the experience. So it's very important that you communicate that you're being compliant. It's very important that you're communicating with the process that you're following. And to me also, the ability to open channels of communication with your customers and letting them know that you're taking action is one of the factors that will help them feel safe. So I added at the bottom of this slide, I added a link to an article that I found yesterday, very, very appropriate to what's going on today and how buildings and offices have to be safe. And when we're talking about cleanliness and air pollution, all of that needs to be taken into consideration as we open back. So I encourage you to read this article that I found it super interesting, very related to what we're talking about here. So the solution is simple, and I make it, for our customers, the way I tell them is, the solution is on your left side of the screen. This is all what you need. If you implement Cielo QR, Cielo QR is the logo on the left. All what you have to do as a customer is to make sure that you have the right message. You can configure the message you want to deliver on that code. Is to make sure that you have the proper corporate colors and logos and the look and feel of your corporation or your institution. And that's all. Once you design it, you decide what zones you want to have this information on, right? Where do you want to provide feedback? Where do you want to have tracking of a process is being followed? And once you have those zones defined, define these templates and print them, put them in the right location, and you're ready to go. Then at that point, the entire Cielo platform takes over. The Cielo platform and the cloud intelligence will be the one behind the scenes, but all what you need in the front end is this being able to locate these codes in the places that you want to. So once you do this, how do we address the challenges? So number one, ensuring safety processes that are followed. Basically with these codes, you're able to manage the process. Your cleaning crews will be able to show up in a bathroom. In this case, this is a bathroom QR code. They will use their telephones, and we'll do the experience in a few minutes. We'll do it ourselves. They will come, they look at with their phones, and they will be able to read this QR code, and the templates that you as a business owner or as an operations manager or responsible for safety have designed, those processes will be available for that cleaning crew employee. And they will need to fill it out and say, look, I completed these action items that I was supposed to fill. They will capture the time, and you'll be able to know when that happens. You'll be able to track if things are being done with the time that you need to be done, right? Number two, the same QR code is a big advantage. The same QR code becomes the window for your customers to provide feedback. So your customers go into that same location, they have a problem, they don't like something. Usually they're not gonna tell you things are good. I wish they do, but if they don't, and you want to capture when they have a problem. And basically this opens a window for them to go to the same bathroom. They see something they don't like, they use their phones, they read the code, they provide the feedback, they can add a picture and send it to you. At that point, everything goes to the cloud. You have it in the cloud, and the cloud, you'll decide who should be seeing this information and how fast you want to react to that information. And last but not least, we enable the ability to provide history to the customer. So you have a moviegoer going into your location, you go to a bathroom, and you can make available the history of the cleanup processes that you have performed to the bathroom to that moviegoer. So it's up to you how transparent you want to be at that point. You may want to have very clear procedures and everything in place before you open up to share that information. But as I mentioned to you, what we're seeing, and I'm seeing across multiple industries, the more transparent you are in the process, the more customers are going to feel comfortable. So now that we kind of see how the solution is implemented and as simple as it is, I want you to try it yourself. So we created this QR code that is specifically for a restaurant, and it's applicable to any location. Basically, it's a bathroom in a restaurant, so you can open your telephone and point to the QR code. Open the camera application, think that you are going to take a picture, but you don't. It will show you immediately a menu that a link. You click on the link and you land exactly in the customer feedback form. At that point, you'll be able to, as a customer, you're a customer, you'll be able to say, okay, where are you? What location? How many rating? How many stars you're going to give to the place? And put your comments. If you feel like something is not right, then at that point you can take a picture and attach a picture to your submission. We encourage everybody to have their customers put their name and email, but not everybody wants to add that information when they're giving feedback, so we make it optional. Ideally, when they provide that information, then immediately you should be able to have processes to provide feedback, return feedback to that customer and say, look, we're taking care of what you said, or maybe there's something that you couldn't see that we were fixing, etc. So that's a good way to really take action. But then your customer, this is the experience a customer will see, as simple as that. There is no need to download any application. Just take your phone, point the phone to the QR code, and be able to actually then provide the feedback. Now, if you see at the bottom of that same screen, you go to we enable cleaning history. You can click on that cleaning history. You'll be able to see, because we enable it, how many times that bathroom has been cleaned in our demo account. You'll be able to see the times and who did it, right? That's information that we think will make it very transparent that you're following certain processes. As we just discussed, the Finland cinema is opening up to show them how they do it. They're actually doing it where the customers are, at the site. Here is a good way to also enable to see what activities have been done in that location. Now, if you want to see the experience, I want you to see the experience of a cleaning crew member. You click on employees at the bottom, the button at the bottom, and you'll see a password or PIN code requirement. We created as 1, 2, 3, 4. You can click 1, 2, 3, 4, submit. You'll be able to see the exact form and template that one of the cleaning crew employees will see at that point. In this example, we associated 2 templates to that bathroom, the bathroom cleanup and CDC COVID-19 sanitation. So depending on who you are, what kind of cleaning you're doing, you can have one single template if that's what you want. You can have multiple templates. You click on one of those and you'll see the actual checklist that we designed for that specific location. So you can click as a cleaning crew member, put your comments, your name, your signature, save it, and that information goes straight to the cloud. You will be able to capture when that information was submitted, and we compare it to what are your procedures. Is it done every 30 minutes, happen when it was supposed to happen? And if not, an alert and an alarm will be issued to the management team or to whoever you design should be looking at this. So that's in a very simple approach. You can see the experience of a customer going to your site or a cleaning crew member using the application. So I wanted to share too, right? QR codes they were becoming I saw like the renaissance of the QR codes before COVID in the US. The US kind of had a time where the QR codes were not taking as fast as other places. But now after COVID, things are changing a lot, right? So we've seen a lot of utilization of QR codes because of the touch-free experience. It's definitely a very good solution for touch-free. So we have US airports using them, and some additional companies are starting to look at QR codes. In Asia Pacific, is being used even to track people's temperature and how well they're doing as far as the COVID virus is concerned. So we're confident that QRs are a technology that is very well positioned for the moments that we're going through right now. So the next steps are very simple as a customer, right? As a customer, the only thing you need to do is just register in this portal. You register your company. It is a wizard that will allow you to create the codes by yourself. So you don't need to have Cielo or anybody doing it for you. However, we're here to help you. We can drive you through the first few steps and help you create a few of them before you do it on your own. But the wizard is simple enough for you to create your own code. So you can customize them and put your logo and make them look the way you want it. And the next step, you get a PDF file, is to print it. You print it, you use the printer that you have, or as a sophisticated printer that you want to use to print these codes and place them in the right locations where you want to have them. That's all what you have to do. Those are the next steps that you need to follow. One thing that I wanted to share with you is as we talk to some of the customers, we start with a conversation around sanitation, sanitization, disinfection, cleaning, etc., right? But we're seeing a lot of utilization in other areas. So brains are opening up and coming with a bunch of other ideas. And I want to share some of the use cases that we're starting to see that maybe trigger your own ideas as well. So one is touch-free interaction. So we have a restaurant already that is using these QR codes to eliminate menus. So basically they're digitizing their menus in a PDF file that we put behind the QR code. These QR codes are being placed on tables, and the customers go, use their phones, they check the QR code, and they'll be able to see that menu and access that menu from their phones without having to print anything. Because the regulations tell them if you're gonna give them something, it has to be disposable. So every menu that they had to, before thinking about this solution, they had to print it, give it to the customer, and throw it away. Now they're saving on paper, saving on trees, saving on printing and logistics with the solution, your touch-free interaction. Another customer, more in the churches and non-for-profits, we're thinking about, hey, how do I integrate this with other applications that I already have? So I get my customers to give me feedback, but then can I do a donate now button? So basically creating an interaction into other applications you may have. Pay here, emergency contacts. So you don't have to, this becomes your portal to enter into other applications and other functions that you have for your customers, for your visitors, for your guests. And last but not least, and I think it's also interesting, in a conversation I had yesterday with a customer that has supplying electronics in malls. One of the things he was thinking is, why do I add these QR codes to the devices, maybe a new TV or a new device, and let the customer then interact with me when they have support issues or they need to contact me without having to call any numbers, and use the QR codes as a way to interact with a support company. So those are different ideas, and the solutions are already here. There's not much development from our side. It's just a matter of putting the right templates to work. The templates are flexible enough to be developed in any way that you need to. So just, triggering some additional light bulbs for you to think about how to use this technology for other things that you may have as we open up. The thing of the solution right now is that it's free, and we're making it for free. And the next, after your local governments decide to reopen, we give you 60 days to use it, abuse it, and take as much as you can to be able to get your customers back to business. Hopefully help you save money, like we're having with this restaurant that is not printing menus anymore. Think about any function that you can maybe get going that will save you time, money, and headaches. And the process is very simple, as I mentioned before. So with that, I think we are under the 30-minute mark that we set initially for these sessions. I wanted to open up for questions that you may have. Let me see here. Open everybody here. John, any questions? Christina, Henry?
It's great to see how QR has evolved from the first time that you showed it to me, especially bringing in the menus and the other things, because part of the webinars that we've been on the last week or two, they're all stressing paperless, contactless, and it's great to see that you're looking ahead and tying this in. I work for Screen Vision. We're an on-screen advertising company, and theaters that have the Screen Vision program would be more than happy to work with the theaters that have this QR program in there. We can put these codes on the screen if people want. We can explain the program. Would be more than happy to help do it, because the way we look at it is we have to build trust. People love the cinema, but now they have to trust the cinema. They have to feel comfortable going in there, and this is a great way to get there. So anything we can do to help push that program with on-screen advertising, please let us know.
Excellent. No, that's great, John. I think you're right. As we talk to customers, one of the things that we're finding out is that you can, as a vendor, you cannot come up with all the ideas. The customers have the ideas of what they need. And the touchless menu was a brilliant idea, very simple to implement. They were facing the need from the government to print them and throw them away, and we said, look, we can do it. And in over a weekend, we fix it, and they already have 3 locations using the menus this way. So think of cinemas or any other location that has to do with paper. Maybe even for access to the theater and stuff, giving a QR code to a person to be able to recognize who they are. That kind of, the brain, you can go anywhere, right, from here. And the flexibility of the templates allow you to put any kind of action item behind it. So you can be cleaning, or it could be something else. So that's a good thing. Anybody else? Let's see, we have other people here. Okay. Well, yeah, we are 25 minutes, and we wanted to do this. We're going to repeat these sessions every week. You have any customer, anybody who wants to attend and listen to the story, please invite them. We're going to have them regularly, 30 minutes max. So people come in and out, and we'll share this deck with you and help us promote these sessions every Thursday. And if you have anybody who needs the solution, we're very happy to help you implement it.
Great.
Great, guys. Excellent.
Thank you, Rafael.
Right,
thank you, Renee.
Thank you very much, John, for joining us, and everybody else. I have Christina, Henry, and Daniela. Have a great afternoon, and we'll be in contact.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, we got a chat from Christina there.
Thank you. Yeah.
Oh, okay, just to thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Okay. All right, thanks, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
See you soon. All right, bye.